So, I studied in SEPT, a small school in Ahmedabad, and I remember all these conversations with fellow colleagues like yourselves, especially a lot from what we learned from Professor Doshi, of course, really one of the better architects of our country, and especially about him telling us on his interactions with the greats of the world. So, of course, he was working with Corbusier and Kahn on various projects on various fronts, but it was really nice when he would tell about stories about deeper architecture meanings and realities. So, the one thing I would like to just explain here, when Corbusier died, Doshi from Ahmedabad went to Paris, and then from Paris he went to Philadelphia to meet Kahn. And when he went there, I'll just read it out. I remember Khan lived on the fifth floor, and he threw the key down to me as though she entered Khan's house. And as I entered, I could see he was extremely dejected and at once said, "Have you heard?" And though she answered, "Yes, I've just come from Paris," and then turned an agonized face to me. And that's when Khan said, "But whom shall I work for now?" So what I'm trying to say here is Corbusier and Doshi and Khan never really met each other. They were in different parts of the world. They were working on things differently, probably following each other's writings, following each other's works. But there was this camaraderie, there was this conversation, there was this interest of being a tribe, people who understand architecture in a different way, people who are having their own personal ways of dealing with it. And I think I really hope people in the audience, people here, can all probably gain from each other's energies to be able to have these inquiries, these personal conversations to move things forward. And to me, that's really what's most important now as we all take on this responsibility of scary amount of being built in the world in all these places. So just something that's been consuming me for the last 1 year. We've recently won the commission to do the New Delhi railway station. And really it came up as you really need 6 months to absorb. And like somebody said, how time is getting crunched and what all needs to be done. So basically sharing where we are in the process. It's a crazy place, a station, New Delhi railway station, one of the largest in Southeast Asia. A typical day has about 500,000 people coming in, pretty much almost like population of a few cities we know. And obviously it increases in every festive occasion. It becomes a city in itself. It becomes a home to people. It's a home to a very diverse kind of people. And so it's really about looking at urbanity, looking at architecture in a different way. Also looking at stakeholders in a different way. It's not just an image. It's about what happens to various, almost permanent people. It's almost a house for most, or an office for most, not just the leaders. So I think as architects, I really feel we all must listen more, listen harder, and then probably take a lead or the first sketch or the first idea. And I think with this whole speed of things, with this whole reality of our practices, that's something that really needs to get done deeper and deeper. So things like healthy discomfort. Where do we draw a line where we can be uncomfortable but it's bearable? When do we kind of start looking at realities of building in contexts but also building with times? Sustainability is about people and planet. When do we actually put this up front? When do we bring system thinking in architecture? Because like we produce projects, like we imagine projects in various places, we really need to imagine systems and how they work, interrelate to architecture. It really is a complex process. Holding the process with our kinds of realities in time is really an obligation. Crazy realities of numbers, I think we see that every day. Learning with the community. This was an experiment we did. We put the whole map of Delhi on an exhibition, and we actually tried to engage with people on how we see Delhi growing, learning with industry, looking at people who've done this in the past. This is the Bentham Crowell offices, they've been building stations all over the world, to really looking at workshops with the non-clients, the real stakeholders, of putting things together. So really looking at the challenges of placemaking, looking at a station not just as an architecture project, but really as an event in time, a collaboration, a process that really moves. So looking at city squares, the modern city squares, because this really is a place to bring people together, bringing a definition to a very funny challenge that most people who come here, a lot of them can't even read or write. So they can't even look at numbers. So we're looking at coloring platforms so they can identify platforms with colors, things like that. So looking at everything at an overall scale and then pondering on our first sketches on architecture. So we've broken the ground. Hopefully in 3 years, there'll be a new station in New Delhi. But I think it's a process that really kills. It's a process that really matters. And so I take you to the last few slides. It takes a village, and I think we are all villagers out there. And in my journey in the last 10 years, I've also invested in looking at how we can really push boundaries with people. And so we started an institute called the Design Village. I put that village in a factory, in an existing factory. Again, an idea that we can't keep breaking and making new things without thinking, putting together a perspective of what was needed in India at that time. We came up with a pedagogical model, clearly looking at good design really is about good designers and what does it take to make a good designer. Putting a full journey of a person going through a design education. The third part, the villaging, was really important, which was about people and the planet, and really putting things together in a different perspective. It aims, so Design Village, TDV, it aims to nurture and educate individuals, so that they can design anything. So this is in the middle of a factory where people are really holding up a cause. It was an old place, kind of redeveloped, redone in the realities of India. And it's a place where people are just thinking differently. It's a place where, it's about design without manifestation dependence. And so I end with a small video that this is the big news. We actually launched the Design Village, an Indian Design Village, an Indian design school in Europe. So thank you, everybody. So just a call to action and invite all of you to the village in Italy. Thank you.